Have you checked out all the new handicappers at Sports Memo? If not, here's your chance. For the next week, you can take 50% off any and all purchases using code TRYMEMO. This includes anything and everything from daily packages to 12-month all-access passes. Our new roster of experts is 30 deep, giving you tons of options to choose from. All you have to do is go to sportsmemo.com, choose the handicapper of your choice, use the coupon code TRYMEMO at checkout, and save 50% on your purchase. Repeat as many times as you want until midnight on Sunday.
Hey guys, Carmine Bianco, WagerTalk.com with our Thursday edition of Stoppage Time. We're going to cover 4 World Cup qualifying games. These are games that are going on the weekend. There are games today. We covered some of those on Tuesday's show, which you can find on our YouTube channel. With me from WagerTalk are Nick Borrman and Kevin Dolan, and from Sports Memo, none other than Pavlos Laguretos. Let's bring him in. We'll start with Nick. Nick, what's going on? What do you have up today?
I have a 5% top play going today in the World Cup qualifying. Was only able to go 1-3 yesterday, but still had a winning day as tennis, golf, and NHL all were winners. But looking to rebound today with a 5% winner. Excited about the play, and looking forward to talking about these weekend games too.
Good to hear. You are growing the playoff beard, I see, which is great. Just before the Euros, and hopefully a trip to Vegas with the rest of the boys. Kevin Dolan, 20-11 run with your 3, 4, and 5% plays, I believe. That's pretty damn good. How you doing?
Yeah, all good, Carmine. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. But, like Nick last night, tough night for us. Had the 5% on Ireland, Serbia under. Ireland came out looking like Brazil. I don't know where that performance came from. Eventually lost 5 goals in that game. So hopefully, same bounce back tonight, triple pack up.
You'll bounce back. I know it, my friend. And of course, none other than Pavlos Laguretos. Is it, did you say, I think before the show, it's a Greek, what is it there? Greek Independence Day? Is that it?
Yeah, it's Greek Independence Day. 200 years since the Ottoman rule, since we kicked them out. So, yeah, it's been great. Overall, it's been great. But last night was a tough night. I had 5% on France to win by 2 or more goals. They somehow ended up in a 1-1 draw against Ukraine, who didn't have any shots on target. It was an own goal by France. They also missed a hell of a lot of chances to score a second goal. So I'm kind of frustrated today. I have a 6-pack up for just $5. You can find it at Sports Memo. And as Kevin, I'm in bounce back mode. So let's do this, guys.
Guys, bounce back mode is what it's all about. Bad day on Thursday. I think on Tuesday, I went like 1-3, bounced back yesterday, 4-1. It's part of the game. It's the ebbs and flows. Just keep at it and keep putting out winners long term. That's all that really matters. All right, guys, these are the games we're going to cover today for you guys watching in the chat, and please hit that like button. We're going to cover the Norway-Turkey game, Czech Republic, Belgium, Serbia, Portugal, and Bulgaria, Italy. These are games being played on Saturday and Sunday. Let's get right to it with the first game of the day. This one goes on Saturday. Norway and Turkey. Norway plus 137. The draw is plus 220. Turkey's plus 200, and the total is 2.25. If you look at these scores for these two teams who played on Wednesday, Norway got a 3-0 win. Probably could have been a lot bigger scoreline against Gibraltar. If you looked at the shots on goal and possession there, it was completely skewed one way, but 3-0 was the final scoreline. Turkey with, some might call it the shocker of the day, 4-2 win at home over Netherlands, but this Turkey squad does play extremely well at home. No real recent history, Pavlos, between these two teams, but this is an important 3 points here with these teams heading into, obviously one of these teams will head into Tuesday's games top of the leaderboard in this group, which is extremely important if they can get all 3 points as opposed to a draw. The qualifying this year is a little different just because of the Euros being played this summer, that were supposed to be played last summer. These international breaks now have 3 games. They're normally 2 games. National teams play 2 games and then head back to their domestic teams. Give me your thoughts on this game, Pavlos. We'll start with you first.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Norway, they pretty much destroyed Gibraltar, one of the competition's worst teams. They had a whopping, let me see here, 27 goal attempts, 13 shots on goal, but they only scored 3. Of course, they have Haaland and a lot of other players like Odegaard from Arsenal. They have a very, very competitive trio up front. So they are likely to produce a lot of goals in most of their matches. And as we saw from the Nations League and the Euro qualifiers before that, they are more than capable of scoring goals. Now let's take a look at Turkey, who, in my eyes, it wasn't actually an upset when they beat Netherlands by 4-2 last night. They have a very Turkey are one of the teams that decided to renew their roster a couple of competitions back, and in order to be ready for the World Cup and the qualifiers. So it really worked out for them. They have a really great squad, mostly young guys. They have some experienced guys. They have 2 players from Lille who are doing a really good job in the French League One. Burak Yilmaz scored a hat-trick against the Netherlands. So yeah, these are 2 very offensive-minded teams. I see a lot of goals here. If you look at Turkey's last 7 matches, 5 of those had 4 goals or more. So yeah, I think there's a lot of goals to show up here. So the over 2.5 goals or 2 1/4 goals looks. They both look very good in my eyes.
Yeah, Nick, I'm puzzled by the total, and Pavlos makes some good points. You think of a team like Norway, and I don't think they've ever qualified. Could be wrong, but I don't think they've ever qualified for a big competition like the World Cup or even the Euros. But anytime you have a player of the quality of Erling Haaland, who seems to score goals by the bunches, and then you see a Turkey team where I'm not sure if their away form is as good as their home form, but who put 4 by Netherlands, and then you see a total of 2 1/4. Am I missing something here? Or?
Yeah, it's tough to not want to jump on the over here. I mean, the biggest surprise, I guess, from the first 2 games to me was not the result either way, but Holland not getting on the score sheet in that game against Gibraltar. And, you know, the way I like to play this game, it's not out yet. I don't see the player props out yet, but I'm going to wait and see how Holland's going to be priced to score. I'm sure he's not going to be cheap, but I would think he's going to get on the board coming in this game going to be at home. But you're right. I mean, the over seems like a good way to play it. Both teams have been playing to some overs, especially Turkey actually playing to a lot of overs recently, especially in their Nations League. I mean, they were scoring a lot of goals at those last 4 games. And then, of course, 4 goals yesterday was impressive as well. You know, the side is hard to predict here. I would give a slight edge to Norway at home just because they have a very good track record at home. I mean, between the last 2 Nations League competitions, the Euro qualifiers, and all the way back to the last World Cup qualifiers, they have just 2 losses at home in all of those games, which is, I believe, it's 16 total games, which was Germany and Austria, obviously 2 very good teams there. So, you know, they're only laying a 1/4 of a goal right now. So even if they do draw this game, it's just a half a loss. But I do give them the slight edge at home. Not enough for me to really get excited about it and play it. But the total, I would agree with Pavlos. And I would say, you know, this one looks like we should see some goals from both sides. It's kind of like I see like a correct score 1-1 as a worst case scenario, which is either a half loss if you're taking Norway or a half loss on the total over. But that seems like, you know, worst case here. So I do like the over in this one. I think we could see either side potentially winning, but I think we should see somebody get at least 2 goals and both teams score.
Yeah, and that's good. A good point about the 1-1. Like the 1-1 exact score draw is actually the lowest price of all the exact scores at plus 500, and then both teams to score is split. It's literally a coin flip, yes or no at minus 110. So, Kev, I'm going to give you the final word on this game.
Yeah, just on your point, actually, I'm pretty sure I remember Ireland playing them in the 94 World Cup, Norway, in our group stage. So they've probably made as many World Cups as we have, which probably isn't a whole pile, you know. I quite like Norway here. Look, I think, you know, Pavlos is obviously right. Turkey are a kind of underrated team, but, you know, to be up 3-0 just after half time, that was impressive. It wasn't just the fact that they beat them; it was the fact that their start in that game was so good. But Pavlos is right in the fact Norway just kind of went through the motions in that game. 24 shots from open play. I was really impressed with that. They could have won that by a landslide if they had wanted to. Taking off them players in the second half, early in the second half. Turkey are pretty durable on the road. We know that. They've lost just one of the last 7 internationals away from home. But if I am taking a side here, it's going to be Norway. I think they are the better team. And I believe at the start of the group, Norway would have seen Holland as their main competitors in this group, despite Turkey being a bit underrated. And with a win here, they know that they've got daylight between themselves and Holland there. So, Norway, I think minus quarter goal line is fair enough. And that's the side I'd be on here.
All right, awesome. We are going to head into our second game. This is going to be a good one. Both these teams picked up wins on match day 1. Czech Republic versus Belgium. The Czech Republic are plus 425 at home. The draw is plus 300. Belgium minus 167, and the total is 2.5. As I mentioned before I go to Nick on this one, Belgium won their first game. They conceded first, and then scored 3 in beating Denmark 3-1. Czech Republic, an easy one, 6-2 over Estonia. I'm going to quickly talk about this Czech Republic-Estonia game. Quickly, I had a 5% play on this game yesterday, but it was not up for sale. And I loaded this game on Sunday. The line was Czech Republic minus 1.5. I told my soccer subscribers and All Access subscribers to play this game because I expected the line to go up probably like a quarter goal to like 175. Well, by Monday, as I went to create a package to sell this 5% play, it was already at -2 and getting higher. By midday, it was -3. I couldn't load the play up because at -3, it's no longer a play. At -2.5, it's no longer a play. So I didn't put it up for sale. I couldn't find out why this line was. Soccer lines don't go up a goal and a half. They just don't. Finally found out on Monday through the Estonia site, which I use Google Translate for, as one of the players tested positive, and virtually the whole team was missing. They were starting their under 21s, their under 23s, 4 guys who hadn't played since 2016. I don't know how that bodes for Estonia's next game on the weekend, but 6-2 easy win for Czech Republic. It's not going to be that easy on the weekend. Nick, I'm going to go to you first on this one.
As you say that, Carmen, makes me wonder about how did the Czech Republic let up 2 goals with that lineup for Estonia. Maybe that's a worrisome situation here. Although, of course, they could have just been going through the motions as well. I wasn't watching the game, so I don't for sure know. But listen, I made the mistake in our last show on Tuesday of suggesting to go against the Red Devils from Belgium and taking Wales plus 1.5. I'm not going to make that mistake again. This team is too good. Czech Republic is a solid side, but I mean, when you have a lineup of De Bruyne, Lukaku, Mertens up front, I mean, that's as good as it gets. And there's a reason there's a number 1 team in the world. And they made easy work of Wales after, as you mentioned, they gave up the first goal, but they scored 3 after that to win 3-1. This could be a similar type of a scoreline when all is said and done. Czech Republic, like I mentioned, they're a good team. They won their Nations League B group, but they did lose both games against Scotland. And let's be honest, if you aren't beating Scotland, you're not beating Belgium. In Euro qualifiers, they lost to Bulgaria. They lost to Kosovo. They lost to England, which is no big deal. Belgium also lost to England, but they did lose by a 0-5 scoreline. But again, if you're losing to Bulgaria and you're losing to Kosovo, you're not going to be beating Belgium. By comparison, in the Nations League for Belgium, they beat Denmark, a really good Denmark team, twice. Iceland, who's fallen off, they beat them twice. And they split against England, 1 win, 1 loss. They had a perfect Euro qualifying group, 10-0, 40 goals, 3 against. Take out the 2 games against San Marino where they scored 13, and it's still a 27-3 goal differential. Again, bottom line, lineup is too good here. I think this number is going to move to -1 very soon. So I'm going to grab the 3/4 goal line on Belgium right now and take them to win this game.
Yeah, Kev, he makes a very good point. Like, the number is so good. I think you need to take it right now in all likelihood. And my apologies. I said that Belgium won yesterday 3-1 over Denmark. I obviously need another coffee. It was over Wales. And that first Wales goal was a very good, a nice little setup. I'm going to give myself the yellow card. There it is. But Yeah, Kev, you have to figure with 3 games, picking up 3 points here against Czech Republic, going home where they think they play their final qualifying one of this break against Belarus, they can literally head out of this first international break with 9 points, top of the group, and pretty much set themselves up to sail home the rest of the way.
Yeah, Nick nailed it, pretty much all my thoughts as well. On the box score, 2 reasonably commanded performances from both teams last night. On the Czech Republic side, I thought Thomas Souček was magnificent last night. He completely controlled that midfield area, scored a hat-trick in the process. But again, just look at the competition, Estonia's backup team. So, as Lars says, against Belgium with this Mertens team, De Bruyne, it's just so strong. So, he's going to have to really have a standout game if they're going to take anything here. Czech Republic's home form hasn't been amazing. They did beat England here back in 2019, the European qualification, but England already pretty much had that group sewn up, weren't interested. And as Nick said, in the return fixture, they smashed them 5-0. So we can't read too much into that sole win. I think Belgium simply have too much talent in this one. And more importantly, a greater level of depth also. There's only 3 days separating these games, so that'll be crucial here as well. Look, I'm not going to mess around with the handicap line here. Belgium minus 160, I seen this morning. It's pretty high, but I don't see anything other than a Belgium win here.
Awesome. Pavlos, I am going to go to you. I'm having a bit of a laugh as one of the guys in our chat, Andreas, says that we had to do the VAR check on Carmine and that Denmark to Wales change there. Give me your thoughts on this game, my friend.
Yeah, this looks like an over to me. Czech Republic have had over 2.5 goals in 11 of the last 15 matches, and both teams scored in 8 of those matches. And when you look at Belgium, they have over 2.5 goals in 5 of their last 6 and in 14 of their last 18 matches. However, Belgium, no matter how good they are, they've only kept 1 clean sheet in the last 6 competitive matches and just 2 clean sheets in their last 9 competitive matches. So when I look at I have to double check that the price on the over 2.5 goals is so low. I think it will go even lower. Maybe we'll go at the 2 3/4 goals. And I think it's still playable. The over 2.5 goals looks really good here. And a very good and interesting stat is the fact that the last 3 of Czech Republic's home losses all came by 2-1. They lost each of the last 3 home matches by 2-1. So Belgium to win by 2-1 goes at plus 750. So yeah, that's the over, and the Belgium to win by 2-1 for me.
All right, sounds good, my friend. We are going to head over to the 3rd game, and then I'll have a couple of promos for you guys out there. Serbia, Portugal. Serbia plus 375 at home. The draw is plus 275. Portugal minus 143. The total is 2.5. Serbia winners, we think we discussed this at the beginning of the show, 3-2 winners over Ireland. I'm not really sure how those 2 teams somehow put 5 in the net in that game. And Portugal, a 1-0 win over Azerbaijan. I pronounced that correctly. And that goal was an own goal. So this Portugal team really struggled, and they've got a plenty of talent on that team. So to see them struggle to a 1-0 win at home where the goal came on an own goal is a bit of a shocker. Past history between these teams, you have to go back to 2019, the Euro qualifying, where Portugal drew 1-1 at home and then won 4-2 at Serbia. Kev, I'm going to go to you first on this one.
Yeah, it really was a pretty amazing game over in Turin last night. The Portuguese team, it has such ridiculous depth. We've seen Bruno Fernandes come on for Jeremy Martinho, Rafa came on for Pedro Neto, so on. And despite the scoreline, they did completely dominate that game. 29 shots to 4, 19 shots from open play, 122 dangerous attacks to just 15. If you closed your eyes and just heard those match stats in a vacuum, you'd assume it must have been a 7-0 destruction job. But, Portugal simply couldn't score in that game. Medvedev own goal, as you said, in the 36th minute, being the only thing separating those 2 teams at the final whistle. So you'd imagine Portuguese boss Fernando Santos won't be too pleased with that offensive display last night, especially against a team as weak as Azerbaijan. On the flip side, a game we had Serbia did look decent last night after falling behind early against Ireland. Tadic and Mitrovic especially combined well for those 2 goals, but they were facing a third-string backup goalkeeper for Ireland in Bournemouth's Mark Travers. Now, Travers is only young, so I'll cut him a little bit of slack on here. But to give you an idea where he is in world football, he was most recently, he doesn't start for Bournemouth, he was most recently out in loan at English League One club Swindon Town. So it's not like Serbia looked sensational against the prime, Gianluigi Buffon last night, for example. The far more worrying concern for me ahead of this one is Serbia's backline. The other Mitrovic, Stefan Mitrovic, was really subpar at the back. It was his error that led to Ireland's second goal. And just those words alone, second goal for Ireland. Like, I haven't heard that in years. Because they just don't score. The last time this Irish team scored 2 or more goals in anything that wasn't a friendly against a top 50 side was against this same Serbia team almost 5 years ago. Ireland hadn't even scored a goal in their previous 7 matches before last night's game. So if Serbia give up that kind of ground at the back to Ireland against this far more dynamic Portuguese side here on Saturday, they could be in trouble. While Portugal couldn't find their rhythm offensively last night against Azerbaijan, as we said, I do expect them to here against this pretty weak Serbian side at the back. Portugal straight win for me, minus 143. That looks value.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Pavlos next on this. You look at the talent on this Portugal team, and it's hard to believe that they struggled. I get it. They didn't have a lot of time after the domestic weekend ended to get together and practice and get ready for this. But when you have a team with Cristiano Ronaldo, Andre Silva, Bernardo Silva, Neto, Moutinho, there's so many guys. And then the bench, just the guys on the bench, Diego Jota, Joao Felix. There's just so many players on this team who can put that ball into the net, and to not see them score a goal was a bit of a shocker for me. Give me your thoughts on this game, Pavlos.
Yeah, I was actually in Serbia to win and under 3.5 goals last night. I don't know how we had 5 goals with a combined 6 shots on goal. I mean, that's just so weird to me. Kevin made some good points about Ireland. I'm going to talk about Portugal. Fernando Santos, the coach, is a really defensive-minded coach. Of course, Portugal, they are capable of erupting in so many matches and score 3, 4, 5, or 6 goals. There's no doubt about their talent. However, the mentality of the coach is not to destroy the opponent, just get the job done and move on to the next one. So the match against Azerbaijan was really weird. They had 15 shots on goal, and the Azerbaijani goalkeeper had 14 saves. Somebody signed this guy. I mean, that's impressive to have 14 saves against guys like Bernardo Silva, Ronaldo, Moutinho, Neto, all these guys. So, yeah, Serbia, I don't really trust them. They have a solid side, a very good offense. Tadic recorded like 3 assists in the last match. I don't really see something very, very, very positively in this match, because I don't like either of these 2 teams. For what it's worth, in the previous 6 matches they met against each other, all 6 had both goals from both sides. So if you would like both teams to score, it goes at minus 117. And 3 of those matches had over 2.5 goals. So the over 2.5 goes at minus 105. But yeah, for me, it's really a weird match. Maybe cards for Serbia, but I personally will stay away.
All right, Nick, I am giving you the final word on this big game number 3.
I think it's the law of averages here. 29 shots on goal, or 29 total shots, 15 on goal for Portugal, and they didn't score. As you mentioned, their one goal was the own goal. I think it's the law of averages here. I think they're going to take 6 shots. Their first 6 shots, they're going to score 3 goals, and they're going to run away with this thing pretty early. I don't see Serbia putting up much of a fight. Now, these 2 do have recent history against one another. You have both of them playing in the same Euro qualifying group. Portugal won at Serbia, but then drew 1-1 at home. But still, if you look at overall the games, both of those games, Portugal clearly the better team. And, anything can happen in one game, and a 1-1 draw isn't necessarily surprising. But I just, more often than not, I think Portugal's going to come in and win this type of game. In the Nations League this past fall, Portugal did great on the road. They won at Croatia, won at Sweden, and then played to a scoreless 0-0 draw at France. I mean, obviously all better teams there than the Serbia side. So I don't see anything but a Portugal win here. Another price, I think, that will probably only grow as we get closer to game time. So if you're going to take them, now's the time. But Portugal's the way to play this one.
Awesome. Love it. Guys, before we head to the final game of the 4 games that we're covering, just a couple show specials to let you guys know about. This is the final 48 hours of this deal, the end of soccer season special. $249. You get every single play from your favorite capper right through the end of the European season, which ends on the weekend of May the 23rd. So you get all of those plays, any other plays in Champions League, Europa League, the MLS kicks off soon, so you'll get those plays as well, and any of the other World Cup qualifying, whether it's South America, Europe, or Central America, you get all of those plays as well too. $249. It's a great deal, especially when you consider, Nick Borrman's got a 5% play up today. I know Kevin Dolan is zoned in on a game this weekend, and those plays normally go for $40. So grabbing this package will get you those plays and pretty much every other play, including 5% plays in soccer up to and including May 23rd. The other deal is one for myself that I created. It's an all-access package. I'm having a very good March. And a very good year overall, and in soccer up over 122%. So you can get an all-access package, every single play I release for the next 365 days in every sport for only $9.99. We took $1,000 off of that. So no coupon needed. Just head over to WagerTalk.com, click on my capper page, and you will find it on the right-hand side. All right, with that said, business is done. Let's get to the last game. What would a show be without having a game, Pavlos, where we discuss the Italian national team? Bulgaria versus Italy. Bulgaria plus 1,200. The draws plus 550. Italy minus 500, and the total is 3.0. I'm going to say this about this Italian team, Pavlos. I got a lot of flack from my friends when I said before the 2018 World Cup, when they played Sweden, best thing that could happen to the Italian team was not to qualify for the World Cup and get embarrassed. If they went to the World Cup, they didn't qualify. They couldn't beat Sweden. The team was completely gutted, rebuilt. Roberto Mancini is now in charge of this team. This team is playing extremely well. He's bringing inventive soccer back to Italy. This team is pressing. They're scoring. When they score, they try and score again. This isn't the score a goal and sit back. Since the end of the World Cup, or when Nations League started in 2018, since taking over, he's gone 17 wins, 6 draws, 1 loss. That one loss coming in Nations League 1-0 to Portugal. They're playing extremely well. This Bulgaria team, not so well. They failed to qualify for this year's Euros. They finished 4th in their group, going 1-3-4. And they have 2 wins in their last 20 games, going back 20 games. So can you find anything in this game that makes it a worthwhile play?
Yeah. For starters, I don't see Bulgaria winning or drawing here by any means. I mean, Italy would have to suicide to get to lose points to a very bad Bulgaria side that has won just 2 over the last, I think it was 20 matches, and one of them was a friendly match against Gibraltar. So their only win in their last 20 competitive matches is against Czech Republic by 1-0 at home. So I don't think they pose a threat to an Italian side that actually they have a clear path to the top spot of the group. It's rather easy. Maybe Switzerland will. They are the second favorites to go behind Italy in this group to progress. However, they are traditionally very good in qualifiers, especially World Cup qualifiers. I don't see a lot of goals because the Italians have reverted back to playing solid defense, but their offense is actually producing a lot of goals lately. They do keep clean sheets. They have 5 clean sheets in the. 6 clean sheets in the last 7 matches. So yeah, I don't see a very high scoring match here. So my best bet for this match is Italy to win and under 3.5 goals at plus 104. Plus money for Italy to win and not many goals to show up. I think that's the way to go here.
All right, Nick, I'm going to go to you next on this. Exact scores, and Pavlos was mentioning a lot about the clean sheets with regards to Italy. 3-0 is plus 650. 4-0 is plus 1,000, 10-1. And in all honesty, I could see a 3-0 or 4-0 win for this Italian side. Give me your thoughts.
I'm going to play this Kevin's favorite way, which is to win to nil, is listed at minus 120 right now for Italy. Then I'm not too worried if they only score one, Italy, or if they do score four. I don't have to worry too much about the total here, but I just don't see Bulgaria getting on the board. In 6 Nations League games for Italy, they kept 4 clean sheets, and that's against much better teams like the Netherlands and Poland, Bosnia as well. They also kept 6 clean sheets in their Euro qualifying group. Meanwhile, Bulgaria, they were blanked 4 times in 6 Nations League matches against Finland, Wales twice, and Ireland. And they were only held scoreless in 3 of their 8 Euro qualifying games, but really the telltale for me is the 2 games against England, which they lost 4-0 at England and 6-0 at home to England. That's a very telling sign of how this game could possibly go, because obviously Italy is a very strong side up there in the ranks as far as England is concerned. So I like to win the nil here. I think it's fair price, minus 120. The only reason I'm not taking Italy on the handicap, minus 1.75 right now, is this thing could ultimately finish in a 2-0 type of a result, and then you're only getting half win on your wager, and I just don't like the value there. I don't like to do that. So I'm going to go to win a nil, minus 120 in this one.
All right, good point. Italy does play, Kevin, their first World Cup qualifier today against Northern Ireland, and it is in Parma, Italy. And just a stat before we go to you on the final word on this game. Italy at home in World Cup qualifiers has never lost a game. 46 wins, 9 draws, no losses. I know, Kev, you're going to say that doesn't matter. But anyways, give me your thoughts on this Bulgaria game.
Well, Italy obviously massive favourites against Bulgaria. I'm going to skip that Northern Ireland game. I have no interest in it. But look, it's understandable to see why. Take away the we haven't seen them yet in this World Cup qualification, because obviously they start tonight. But in their Euro qualification group, Italy were excellent. They won all 10 other group stage matches. They conceded just 4 goals over 10 games. A net positive plus 33 goal differential in that group. Only Belgium bettered that at plus 37. So Italy are playing really well right now. And on the flip side, Bulgaria are really poor. I'm just glad I'm old enough to remember the Bulgaria sides of the early 90s with Stoichkov, Lechkov and so on, because this current version is really poor. They've won just 1 game over the last 10 internationals. That was a 1-0 win against Czech Republic, which came on the final group stage match. Czech Republic didn't need it, didn't show up. Prior to that, their sole win came against Cyprus almost 3 years ago. As Nick said, England smashed this Bulgarian team 6-0 on the road back in 2019. This could well be a very similar result, as Italy do have talent and depth. Obviously, still waiting to hear that situation with the Inter squad was happening there. But even so, I have no problem laying Italy here, minus 1.75. I think they win by at least 2.
All right, there you have it, guys. 4 games, a bunch of opinions and exact scores on the games. Just a couple things before we go. Obviously, Tuesday we'll be back with Stoppage Time. We'll cover the games that are being played on Tuesday and maybe one of the Wednesday games. Over at Sports Memo, they have a 50% off deal using the code TRYMEMO. So head over there, find any of the cappers, including Pavlos, use TRYMEMO to get 50% off. As Nick mentioned, he has a 5% play up that goes today. Great time to take advantage of that end of soccer season promo. You'll get all of his plays until May 23rd, including this 5% play, of course. So it's a great deal. And of course, Kevin Dolan is zoned in on a game this weekend, a 5% play. So come Friday would be a great time to pick up that 3-day all access package for Kevin Dolan. You'll get all of his plays Friday through Sunday, including that 5% play. And if you do the math, it works out. So head over to WagerTalk.com. You'll find Nick and Kevin in the drop-down menu. Head over to their pages. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for commenting. Hit that like button, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Have you checked out all the new handicappers at Sports Memo? If not, here's your chance. For the next week, you can take 50% off any and all purchases using code TRYMEMO. This includes anything and everything from daily packages to 12-month all-access passes. Our new roster of experts is 30 deep, giving you tons of options to choose from. All you have to do is go to sportsmemo.com, choose the handicapper of your choice, use the coupon code TRYMEMO at checkout, and save 50% on your purchase. Repeat as many times as you want until midnight on Sunday.